So you're finally ready to move out and get your own place. No more sharing a bathroom with your little brother. No more waking up to your mom vacuuming at 6 a.m. on a Saturday. Just sweet, sweet freedom. But hold up. Before you sign that lease and post a TikTok tour of your new dream apartment, let's talk about the not so glamorous side of adulting: money. Specifically budgeting, because if you skip this step, that dream apartment might become a financial horror film titled Sleeping on an Air Mattress and Eating Instant Noodles. Today, I'm breaking down how to move into your first apartment without draining your bank account or calling your parents every month asking to borrow money for gas and utilities. Let's kick this off with the golden question: how much rent can you actually afford? Because vibes don't pay the rent and your landlord isn't accepting payments in social currency. The general guideline is that you spend no more than 30% of your monthly income on rent. That means if you bring in $4,000 a month after taxes, your rent should be no more than $1,200. That's it. Video over, right? Of course not. There's always more to consider. Rent is just the beginning. You have utilities, internet, trash, water, parking fees. These things can add up very quickly. That $1,200 apartment could easily turn into $2,000 once you factor everything in, and that's before you even bought toilet paper. So the first step, take a hard look at what you make in monthly income, not what you usually make. You want to know what you actually bring home after taxes, then subtract your non-negotiable expenses like car payments, student loans, phone bills, and minimum savings. Whatever you have left is what you can potentially use for housing. Don't inflate this number, be real and be honest with yourself. Next up, we got to talk about the money that you pay before you even pay rent. That's right. Before you even move in, there are upfront costs that will sneak up on you and take a bite out of your wallet. Let's start with deposits. Most landlords will ask you for the first month's rent, a security deposit that's equal to 1 month's rent, and possibly last month's rent up front. If your rent is $2,000, you could easily be paying $6,000 just to get the keys. Some apartments also charge an application fee, which on average is around $50, and that's just to run your credit and background check. Add in moving costs, whether you rent a U-Haul or hire professionals, and you're looking at hundreds, maybe even thousands more. If you're not prepared for these upfront costs, getting approved for the apartment won't matter. You won't be able to move in, so start saving early, create that moving fund, and you'll thank yourself later. Now about those credit and background checks. Most first-time renters don't realize this, but your credit score can absolutely determine whether or not you get approved for an apartment. Landlords use your credit report to decide whether or not you're responsible with money. If your credit score is low or your history is spotty, you might need to take on additional steps to get approved, like paying multiple months of rent in advance or finding a cosigner. Without these, you could be denied altogether. To get in front of this, start by checking your credit score now. You can get it free on sites like annualcreditreport.com, sometimes through your bank, or you could even use the NerdWallet app. If your score is under 600, it's worth taking some time to try and build it up before applying. Remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about showing that you can be trusted. That trust is worth more than you think in the rental market. Now let's talk about where you're going to live. This choice can be the difference between a 500 square foot closet branded as a studio luxury apartment just because it's near a Trader Joe's, and actually having a spacious apartment with room for more than just a twin size mattress on the floor. So when you decide on your location, ask yourself a few key questions. How far is this from work or school? Can you walk, or will you be spending a ton of money on gas or Ubers? Is there public transportation nearby? What's the neighborhood like at nighttime? Are there grocery stores, laundromats, and other essential services in a reasonable distance? Sometimes choosing a place that's $200 cheaper but an hour from everywhere that you need to be will actually cost you more when you add in gas and time. Remember, proximity matters. Also, check out the neighborhood safety ratings, or better yet, visit the area in the evening. Talk to current residents if you can. Your budget might be okay, but your quality of life might go down if you don't feel safe where you live. This next one is where most people get caught off guard: the lease. That intimidating legal document full of fine print, confusing jargon, and potential regrets. Do not, and I repeat, do not just skim it like most people do when they download an app and are met with terms of service agreement. This isn't a phone software update, this is your home. You actually need to read your lease carefully. How long is your lease? What happens if you break it early? What services are included? What will that cost you in additional fees? Can you have roommates? Or is your cousin sleeping on the couch going to get you evicted? Also, take note of how repairs are handled. If something breaks, are you responsible for fixing it? How quickly is the landlord or building manager required to respond to maintenance issues? There are things that matter once you actually live there. Never sign anything you're unsure about. When in doubt, ask someone you trust or even a real estate attorney to help you review it. It's better to spend a little extra time understanding the terms than to end up in a bad lease agreement. So if everything has gone well up to this point, it's time to move in. Congratulations, but once you move in, the budgeting doesn't stop. It actually becomes more important. You'll want to set up a monthly budget that covers all your recurring expenses so you never get caught off guard. Start with rent, utilities, and internet. Add in your phone bill, transportation, groceries, and any subscriptions. Don't forget renter's insurance, which depending on your coverage can protect you in case of a fire, theft, or damage. Then set aside a small buffer for unexpected costs. Your car may break down, a large medical expense will come up, you may lose your job. Life happens. Also, pay yourself. Save a little every month, even if it's just $50. That emergency fund will be a lifesaver if your car needs repairs or your job hours get cut. Stick to your budget religiously for the first few months. Track every dollar. Use apps if you have to. Once you build that rhythm, living on your own will become way less stressful. There are lots of ways to make this easy for you, including the NerdWallet app. Our app shows your spending, credit score, net worth, and more all in one place, so managing your money does become a lot easier. It's free and linked down in the description if you want to check that out. But the most important thing is finding a budgeting method that works best for you. And finally, I understand we all want our apartment to look like something out of a Pinterest board, but let's be real. Unless you've got a trust fund, you don't need a $10,000 sectional sofa or a brand new $340 mirror. There's no shame in hand-me-downs, thrift stores, or Facebook Marketplace. In fact, that's where some of the best furniture deals live. You can often find couches, dressers, coffee tables, and even TVs for a steep discount. Focus on the essentials first. A comfortable bed, something to sit on, a place to eat, and basic kitchen tools. You can upgrade later. No one's judging you for not having matching curtains your very first month. If your budget is tight, prioritize function over fashion. A clean, organized space that's comfortable to live in will always be better than an Instagram-worthy space that leaves you broke. So there you have it. That's the full blueprint on how to get your first apartment the smart way, by budgeting like a pro. It's not just about picking a nice place, it's about making sure you can actually afford it and still live a comfortable life. If this video was helpful, give it a like, drop a comment with your budget takeaways, and don't forget to subscribe for more real-life money advice. Your first apartment should be a launch pad, not a money trap. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.